It's Jonathan Nevill here, speaking to you from Australia. Now, I'm going to talk to you briefly about my experience with sleep, about trying to get a good night's sleep. I've had trouble sleeping a lot of my life, and some people do. Now, there are various things you can do to help yourself get a good night's sleep. Now, I'm just going to run through what has been important for me. Firstly, you need physical exercise during the day. You're not going to sleep well at night if you had no physical exercise during the day. And physical exercise is important for all sorts of other reasons. Now, your bedroom, ideally it should be cool, less than 20 degrees Celsius. It should be dark and it should be quiet. Now, try and calm down before you go to bed to sleep. Reading a boring book or even a good book might be quite helpful. Watching your screen, replying to messages, watching your friends on Facebook or YouTube, that's not going to help. TV, that's another screen. It's much less interactive than watching your phone. TV might help, try it, but make sure it's not a story which is going to bring up fears or bad experiences from your past. And avoid alcohol. Now, obviously, if you have a little bit of alcohol, that might help, but don't get into the habit of relying on alcohol or drinking alcohol routinely. Don't start thinking of alcohol as something that you must have before you go to bed. Avoid caffeine after lunch. Now, caffeine is a much more powerful drug than most people realise. I have been avoiding caffeine for some years, but I use it in emergencies. For instance, if I'm sailing, if I'm alone on the ocean and I have to keep awake, I'll use caffeine. And because I'm not habituated to caffeine, it has a remarkable effect. Don't think caffeine isn't a powerful drug, because it is. It's a very useful drug sometimes. It's very powerful. Now, I'm going to say something about tablets. There's nothing particularly special about the pills, the drugs that I use for sleep, but the really important thing is that you must not rely on them. Don't take any drug continuously. So this is one that I use, Breuer Sleep. 2 little tiny pills that you put under your tongue and dissolve under your tongue. Now, that's another one. There's nothing special about these. There's lots of similar ones on the market. Now, that's the drug that the body uses itself to promote sleep, melatonin. You can get it in 2 milligrams or 3 milligrams, and of course it's often used by people who cross time borders to reset their time clocks. But the really important thing about pills, drugs, if you use them one night, maybe you just can't get to sleep, you've got a critical appointment the next day, okay, but they're dangerous because they're very habit forming. You can get into the habit very, very quickly of relying on them, and that will just lead to a problem that'll get worse and worse. So if you take a pill on a Tuesday night, don't take a pill on a Wednesday night. You might have trouble sleeping, but that's the price you pay for taking that pill the previous night. So that's my message about pills. They're very habit forming. Perhaps use a variety that work in different ways, but don't take them more than one night at a time. Now, the last thing I'll say is that if you're lying in bed, you've got up, maybe you get up during the night to go to the toilet, you come back to bed. Very often under those circumstances, as long as you go to the toilet quickly, come back quickly, you'll go to sleep without any problems. But sometimes you'll go back to the bed and you'll lie there and you can't sleep. Now, what I recommend is a warm milk chocolate drink, right? Definitely not coffee, definitely not tea. This is just what I use. I use, there's one called Milo, there's one called Ovaltine, there are various different chocolate drinks. But just get up, don't muck around, make yourself a warm drink, and then maybe plenty of milk, warm it up in the microwave. Don't make it too big because that'll get you up to the toilet during the night. But just make a quick, warm or hot chocolate drink and then go back to bed. Okay, so look, that's really it. That's all I wanted to say about sleep. These are things that have worked for me. So, good luck.